Yes, greetings, blessings, people. We're here, we're live and direct right here on the Big Bad Station with yours truly, DJ Kat, and of course, the legendary Honey B. Big shout out to everybody locking in and tuning in. It's always a blessing every time. So, Honey B, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay. So, of course, introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
I go by the name of Honey Bee. I'm a California girl from the Central Valley, but my mom worked as a school teacher in Jamaica, so I lived there for a good while, about 14 years all told. And I'm a reggae artist, lyricist, recording and performing artist, songwriter. Yeah, man, that's me.
Nice.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Anytime. You're always welcome. So, first of all, I've been getting questions. People are asking, why are you called Honey Bee?
That's a good question too. Well, as I said, I spent a good number of my formative years in the countryside of rural Jamaica. So Honeybee was kind of a pet name I was given just walking along the lane in the evening coming home, or, a lot of the elders would just say, good day, honeycomb, good night, honeybee. So just being warm, being welcoming, and I said, oh, honeybee, I like the connotation, like I love agriculture, I love farming, and I love the way bees work together for one common goal.
Yeah.
And I like how they're small but powerful. So I said, well, it's a feminine sounding moniker, and I'm going to go with honeybee.
I love that. So, when I was reading your bio, and something I found really a blessing was that your grandfather was into music. Tell us about that, and your parents as well.
Yeah, my granddad was a multi-instrumentalist in kind of like a cowboy band. Way back in his days, different than country music, there was cowboy music. But yeah, he played fiddle, guitar, banjo, and he was a songwriter too. So yeah, I was fairly young still when he passed on, but he would write songs for the family members. He had, he was practicing and composing all around me. So I remember that from them time. And then my mom and dad both loved music, so they had all different kinds of albums, many different genres, not reggae alone, So music was always a big part of, my upbringing.
Yeah, I love that. And I know your mom, she worked in a school in Jamaica. How was that?
It was cool. She had been a fourth grade teacher over here in California for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And she ended up taking a job with a private school in Green Island, Jamaica, in Hanover. And it was a really cool place, a nice school, really great families and awesome students. So yeah, it was great, a great experience for both of us.
Wow, I love that. And what did it teach you? Did you go to school there as well, or was it a case of your mum just taught there?
Yeah, I was already a young adult by that time, and she was still teaching, her grade. So, I was, I had been raised, but I hadn't grown. So I love that. Did a lot of growing in Jamaica.
Wow. And I read as well that you like the idea of Miss Lou. So Miss Lou is one of my favourite poets ever. Why do you like Miss Lou?
Isn't she amazing?
Yeah.
I love the whimsical way that she can deliver a punch. It'll sound like something simple and sing-song, and yet it's very, it's a social commentary, a lot of her work. I mean, I just love the historical preservation aspect, but she does it with a certain style. I mean, magnetic. If you've ever seen any of the films of her performing, just, some of her most popular poems, she's a very compelling, performer. So I love her for many reasons. Miss Louise Bennett.
That's it. For me, I love her because she never went away from patois. She was very keen on showcasing her culture and who she is. And sometimes, especially as people of the Caribbean or African, we kind of want to follow more of a European style of talking and speaking English. So that's why I loved her, because I just thought she's being who she is,
Exactly. Again, that's sort of a, not so overt, but still not so covert way of bucking colonialism and being like, this is our language, it's beautiful, it's elevated, it's something to not only be preserved but respected. Exactly like you said, it was a rebel move.
That's
And
it.
I don't think a lot of people maybe realize that by her doing that, it wasn't just heartwarming, quaint, and nice, which it was, but it was also rebellious and very, upright. So,
Yeah.
man, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, for real. And I know you're out there. Are you still out there in California, or have you moved locations?
Nope, right now I am in California.
Oh, okay. And how are you finding the reggae vibe out there? Because I know a lot of artists from Jamaica in particular go over to California, Miami, those sort of areas, especially for reggae. So why is that?
Well, Miami's so close to Jamaica. Sometimes, I'd like to check that out more. I have some people I'd love to check and go over there. That one makes sense because of, the proximity to Yard. California, I guess the weather and, before it became legal, there was more ability to cultivate. So ganja culture, I think, goes with reggae culture.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, the vibe is cool. A lot of good shows come through. Of course, I really want to see more Jamaican artists and Jamaican acts. There's big festivals that have been struggling. I don't know a lot about the backstory for why, but I still think we're blessed compared to some of the other states for the amount of great reggae that we have, not only coming through, but being cultivated right here.
I hear that. And do you ever, as an artist, because sometimes as a DJ in particular for myself, I always want to give back to, in particular, Jamaica, because that's where my family's from. Like, do you ever feel the same, that because this music has given so much from this tiny island, but obviously a great place, to give back? And how would you want to give back if you could? Or do you?
Of course, yeah. Well, right now, it's like as far as material things, more what I feel I can constantly give back. It's, it's just the plain truth. It's not even like me doing a great deed. Who I am was completely formed by the island of Jamaica, the people, and the culture of Jamaica. So it goes beyond me just respecting. It's completely shaped who I am, because when I moved over there, I feel like, looking back in hindsight, maybe I was a teen here that didn't really quite fit in.
Yeah.
Very much a bookworm, a word nerd, not conforming with brand names or the typical, So then all of a sudden we've moved to the Caribbean, and people will speak to you just fondly, and people would call out, "Roots girl. Hey, Ragamuffin Soldier Girl," and I thought, I'm someone, I'm accepted for who I am, just as I am, and it changed me. So as far as giving back, my dream would be to be, in such a sustainable position that, some of the schools around where I lived, I'm sure could use upgrades. I know one brethren, you might know him too, Ninja from 10,000 Lions Sound, who's giving musical instruments, because, come on, there's so much talent in Jamaica, and I'm sure more equipment would be really helpful. So, things like that, education, music in particular, anything to uplift the farming sector, those all would be things I'd be interested in. If I got to the level where I could,
I hear that 100%. And of course, because every artist that I speak to says, yes, Kat, we want to give back, but also as well having a structure, because music, especially reggae music, was founded there, but sometimes I feel like Jamaica as a place doesn't really get the love that it should receive as a country. How do you feel about that? Because I don't know, I just feel like we give so much, but I'm not sure they receive a lot.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm sure that comes into play with any kind of subsidizing or, donations. You have to really know if
Yeah.
you're on the same page with the vision of whoever is handling the funds. Like anything else, I see what you're saying. Definitely when it comes to recognition,
Yeah.
you know, everyone knows Jamaica is the birthplace of reggae and the stronghold of a special culture
Yeah.
that, you know, goes just deeper in so many directions. But as far as I get what you're saying, you feel like a lot is given, but you don't know how it filters down.
Yeah, I think as well the fact of like there's still a few, well, quite a lot of different places with poverty, and we had the hurricane there recently, and people still can't get water till now, and it upsets me, if I'm honest, because like I said, we give so much in music. You would think that we could, as a country of Jamaica, we could possibly have more, if that makes sense.
Definitely, because of the government, you know, the structure. If you go back in history, it's not a good look, and I'm no one to talk about government structure because I'm not proud to say I'm an American.
Yeah,
sorry, but not right now. So yeah, I get what you're saying. You know, the power, there will be power cutoffs, and it's not the only country in the world that goes through.
Yeah.
You know, petty sabotage within the political structure. There's a really good film called Life and Debt.
Yeah.
That explains a lot about kind of the topic that you're touching on right now. I agree with you. It's not up to speed, and the people deserve more.
100%. And I heard that you shared the stage with Kat-a-lyst. Tell me what that was like.
That was one of the best experiences of my life. Kat-a-lyst is not only an amazing artist and performer filled with hits, he's also a really cool person, a great conversationalist, and puts everyone around him at ease, I feel. He's more than gracious on stage and, you know, allowing a new emerging artist to have a platform. Super cool, great experience. His band, the Step by Step band out of Mandeville.
Yeah.
Great people also, and I even went over there and performed with them at their base about 5 years ago. So all around, awesome experience working with Kat-a-lyst.
Wow, nice. And also Everton Blender, a beautiful guy as well. Tell us about that experience.
He's a fantastic person also, who I only got to know, you know, just about a year ago when we were on some of the same shows in Kenya. We went through a lot over there, and I was glad he was around because, you know, he was a positive force.
Yeah.
And an amazing performer, a really gracious human being, and his wife is a wonderful woman too. So yeah, it's really nice when the artists that you look up to are great people and cool human beings as well.
I hear that. Has there been, I mean, we just mentioned a few there, but has there been a moment where you've gone, wow, this is it?
This is it.
Yeah.
Oh man, every little the time with Kat-a-lyst, I definitely went into a different zone.
Nice.
You know, it was in Oakland, California, and the crowd, the stage lights were very bright, but I was just seeing faces from my past and people that I've known from the Bay Area for decades, you know, in the crowd. So it was definitely a this is it moment. And also being in Kenya, you know, touching down in Africa and being a part of things with Everton Blender, definitely another this is it moment. You hit the nail on the head.
That's it. How did you find Africa? How did you find it?
Well, okay, so I haven't been to loads of places, but I've been to just a handful, and some of those are Jamaica, as you know, and the UK. So Kenya was like a mashup of the two of them times much more times bigger, you know? So, because it's still similar infrastructure, the way people set up the market.
Yeah.
The way, you know, walking in the streets, conducting business, but also huge metropolitan cities. The Kenyan people are amazing, awesome, the landscape, the wildlife. I think it's everything that, you know, everything that a lot of us dream it to be. It's that beautiful. It's well worth going.
Nice. I'm glad you had a great experience, because That's what I had as well when I went to the Gambia. It was like going back home, you know. Whereas a lot of people seem to be scared of Africa, obviously because of the messages and things that we receive. But it's one of the best places in the world. It really is.
It is. It is. I'm really eager to return. You know, I'm just trying to secure some shows, and yeah, I'm more than ready
I hear
to
that.
return. It was fantastic.
So how are you finding that? How are you finding looking for shows? Because that's one thing I've noticed is it seems to be quite difficult to book or to go out there. What's your experience been like?
Yeah, just like you said, I think there's a lot of, long-standing cliques and a good deal of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I'm speaking from a perspective of 100% independent artists.
Okay.
So when there's a big team and all of that in place, I'm supposing it's much easier, but I don't think it's ever really easy, because just the way that the public consumes entertainment has sort of been an age-old thing where there's always that middle layer for taking care of the business part, and I'm not sure that it's ever truly equal to the output of the people who create the art, the music, whether you're a dancer, actor, even a chef, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear that. So, musically, what have you been up to? Have you been in the recording studio? What's been happening?
Well, I'm always writing tunes, and I don't really write them out with a pen. They mainly come into my mind when I'm doing other tasks, walking, driving, moving, gardening,
Yeah.
So I'm always putting songs together, and then it sort of becomes the puzzle piece of who will be the right producer for this sound. I'm pretty versatile. I like a lot of different things. Roots reggae, always going to be my mainstay.
Yeah.
But I have a new tune coming out. Well, the one that just came out is the one that we're really excited about.
Yes.
But I've always got new ones coming out. Lately, just 2 weeks ago, dropped the new single, Happy For You. And I'm really hyped because it's my first time working with Isachar Music. Big up John Lloyd, who invited me to voice a classic Roots Radix track that he had produced back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like I said, being 100% independent artist and dealing with bookings like that, well, now I have, just John Lloyd and all the connections that he comes with and the good energy that he brings. It's like, I feel like it's a big step for growth. So, yeah, and I've been spending more time in Southern California and talking to musicians. So maybe my experience of booking is about to change, but you're definitely not wrong about what you said.
Yeah, it's a hard work. It's behind the scenes hard work, isn't it? That no one sees.
Nobody does, but it's like when you love the work that much, it's like you're more than willing to put it in. Sometimes I don't really even realize, wow, you don't even know you've been working, but you realize I need to eat or rest or, figure out. It's just hours will go by. You always hear about when you find that thing that you love, time will go by and you won't notice. I never really, expected to find something that I love this much, but it is that way now. So I've got to call it a blessing.
I hear that. Somebody has asked, when are you coming to the UK?
I love the UK. There's so many great people. I want to come back.
Okay.
Again, just secure a couple shows, and I will come fast. I love the UK.
Yeah.
I love Brighton. My friend Ike's Vibration and Ollie from Heavy Tone Highway. Hi-Fi.
Yeah, that's
Brighton.
it. Yeah.
Then we got my crew, Ragazulu Rebel, Rally Genius, and Mariana Z. And you yourself in the London area. And man, I love the UK. Just anybody, secure some shows, and I'm on my way.
Okay. That's it, people. You heard what she said. She's on her way. Booker. But you know what, sis? I can't have you on here and not ask you to sing Happy For You. Would you be up for that?
Just a little sample.
Yeah,
my favorite verse is the last verse.
Yeah.
You know, happy for you. It's all about, you know, taking joy in other people's success.
Yeah.
And I notice in my own self and the way that social media is set up, you know what I mean, comparison is inevitable, but in the final verse, I give a list of examples. You know, so when your best friend is starting a family, and if a next artist winning a Grammy, when your neighbor just get a new rules, and your little brother crushing all of his goals, and your big sister starting her business, or your brethren improving his fitness, when the lady up the road hit the number, boy, and your uncle just buy a new Hummer, when your co-worker get a promotion, and your cousin buy a house by the ocean, your longtime friend has fallen in love, and their last post is trending, the list is never ending. When we see people achieving, we should celebrate them. No fault finding or bad minding, one and just rate them. Hey, say it loud, say it clear, say it from the heart and make everyone hear. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Yeah.
Bop, 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 bop. I love that. I love that. Wow, people are asking already, where can they find your music, sis? They want to know how can they contact you, and also an email address.
Yeah, my music's on all the regular digital platforms. You know, but there are a lot of artists called Honeybee, so it's good maybe visit me on my Instagram at linkmehoneybee, no E's at the end, linkmehoney, and then just letter B, and that way you can see my song titles and know what to type in on the platforms. Or I have a whole heap of YouTube videos. We put a lot of love into the videos. My YouTube channel is the same as my Insta. Link me honeybee. My email and everything is on my website, therealhoneybee.com. And that would be great. Link up. I have so much more music to share. Music on the way, music that is already there that, you know, they may not have heard. So
yeah,
I welcome the connection. Yeah.
I give thanks every time. And is there any final thoughts, anything you want to say to the people to either check out or anything like that before we go?
Man, just stay positive, you know, look out for each other. Times can feel overwhelming, I know, for me. And sometimes I tend to isolate, so I would say to everybody, you know, reach out to the people that you care about and really make it count, because tomorrow isn't promised. And today, you know, if you've been through any kind of health scare or big stressors and those types of things and you still make it through, it's so clear that just another day alive is such a gift. So it sounds cliche, and I think we fall back into old patterns. I know I have. But yeah, just as a collective human family, let's just try to be there for each other. We're all in this together. You know, we may not all look alike, but our blood color runs the same. So let's remember, we're one human family, one earthling family. So yeah, man, just positive, and I want to give thanks to you, Kat, the Kat-a-lyst, for real.
Anytime.
You know, for keeping it positive, for your deep roots, you know, the history that you go through and everything you do to not just preserve, but to spread the vibe. You know, really, it's truly an honor. I've been looking forward to reasoning with you online, or, you know, in any kind of platform like this, so give thanks.
Anytime, you're always welcome. And we'll keep in touch. We'll keep the vibes and the energy going. We'll probably do another interview very soon. So I thank you as well for joining me.
Fantastic. I'm happy for you. Remember, stream it, share it, check out the YouTube video, and I'll see you guys online.
That's it. More love, sis. Till next time.
Bless up. Respect.
Respect. Bless up. Bless.